$1,000 bonus cash.
Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air. What ABC News has just learned about the deadly ambush. The 4 young American special ops soldiers who were attacked and killed in Niger. A description of the scene. And why is President Trump not talking about the mission?
Mr. President, did you authorize the mission in Niger? Thank you, Albert. Thoughts on this?
We then ask the White House today how they respond. Also at this hour, the search for a killer. 1 American city, 3 suspicious deaths in 10 days. And tonight, the new surveillance they've now put out, who they would like to speak to. And the latest victim overnight, a young man with autism shot and killed. The hidden arsenal, police revealing what they found in this home: school aerials, handguns, shotguns, and an AK-47. Laptops on airplanes, the new warning tonight about fires and lithium-ion batteries. We have new reporting tonight on Harvey Weinstein, what actress Lupita Nyong'o now describes. And the new warning from authorities after police say a father of 4 was killed when young people threw boulders from an overpass.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Friday night. And we begin tonight with new reporting, what ABC News has just learned about that deadly ambush in Niger. 4 young American special ops soldiers, 2 of them Green Berets, surrounded and killed. It's been 16 days since those lives were lost, and today President Trump was asked again to address the mission in public. Did they have adequate intelligence, adequate backup? ABC's Mary Bruce asks the White House today why so little has been said.
The week ended the same way it began, with questions about why President Trump still hasn't addressed the ambush in Niger that killed 4 special ops soldiers.
Mr. President, did you authorize the mission in Niger? Thank you, Albert. Thoughts on the second?
And tonight we are learning chilling details about that ambush outside a remote African village. A senior intelligence official tells ABC News the Americans knew something was wrong when 2 motorcycles came racing out. The official telling us, quote, the hair on the back of their necks stood up. The official says a village elder seemed to stall to keep the soldiers there, and soon 50 militants were upon them, with small arms, vehicle-mounted weapons, and mortars, a sophisticated attack. The Americans were surrounded. Tonight, key questions remain. Did the unit get the proper advance intelligence and backup support? Officials say they didn't expect to be in combat. Also, was Sergeant LaDavid Johnson left behind? The rest of the unit pulled out, but his body was not recovered for at least 20 hours. The president's silent on the details, even as he takes credit for U.S. victories against ISIS.
I totally changed the attitudes of the military, and they have done a fantastic job. Yeah, ISIS is now giving up. They're giving up. They're raising their hands. They're walking off. Nobody's ever seen that before.
Why did that happen before?
Because you didn't have Trump as your president.
On the Hill, frustration is growing. Defense Secretary James Mattis today met with Senator John McCain, who's threatened to subpoena the Trump administration for information.
Felt that we were not getting sufficient amount of information, and we are clearing a lot of that up.
The Pentagon has launched a full investigation, FBI agents on the ground in Niger to assist. But from the White House, few answers.
Will the president address publicly, and if so, when, what exactly happened to these 4 special ops soldiers?
The president, the Department of Defense, and frankly, the entire country and government want to know exactly what happened, and when the time is appropriate, we'll talk about the details of the investigation.
The White House refuses to say whether President Trump authorized the mission in Niger, but they are still talking about his phone call with Sergeant Johnson's widow. His chief of staff, John Kelly, says he was stunned to learn Democratic Congresswoman Frederica Wilson was listening in on the president's conversation. Today, the president says Kelly has every right to be outraged.
He was so offended that somebody would be listening to that call. He actually couldn't believe it. Actually, he said to me, sir, this not acceptable. This is really not. And he knew I was so nice. Look, I've called many people, and I would think that every one of them appreciated it.
And Mary Bruce with us live tonight from the White House. And Mary, one other development involving that call the president was speaking about there. White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, who, as we all saw, lashed out 24 hours ago at Congresswoman Frederica Wilson, who heard that call from the president to the family of Sergeant LaDavid Johnson. General Kelly took aim at a speech she gave at the dedication of an FBI building back in 2015. Kelly had said the Congresswoman bragged about securing funding for the building. Today, we learned from the video that emerged of the speech that the Congresswoman did not do that. She did talk about helping to get the building named in honor of 2 FBI agents who'd been killed, praising their work. And so the White House was asked about this today. How did they respond?
Yes, David, and they are standing by Kelly's characterization. At today's briefing, the press secretary accused reporters, saying it was highly inappropriate for them to question Kelly because he's a 4-star general. But the Congresswoman tonight says he's lying. David.
Mary Bruce leading us off tonight from the White House. The other developing headline at this hour, the hunt for a killer in a Tampa neighborhood. 3 murders in 10 days, the latest one overnight. A young man with autism was shot and killed. Authorities have now put out this surveillance tonight for the public, asking for help finding this man, saying he could be a possible witness. He could have information. And tonight, neighbors are being warned to be vigilant. Here's ABC's Eva Pilgrim now.
Tonight, multiple unsolved murders terrorizing a Tampa, Florida neighborhood after dark. Authorities with no leads and no motive.
I saw him, he just came out of work last night. Seemed like he took the wrong bus.
The latest victim, 20-year-old Anthony Naiboa. Police say the man with autism was walking to a different bus stop but never made it. It's the 3rd shooting here in 2 weeks, all within blocks of each other. The killing started October 9th. 22-year-old Benjamin Mitchell killed at a bus stop at about 9 p.m. October 13th, police find the body of 32-year-old Monica Hoffa. She was killed 2 days earlier.
She was completely innocent and was targeted by this animal out there.
Police releasing this surveillance video showing a possible witness walking near where the first shooting happened.
David, police are asking for people to leave their outdoor lights turned on and travel in groups until these murders are solved. The FBI has reached out. They are standing by, ready if needed. David.
Eva Pilgrim, thank you. Next here to the alarming discovery during a raid of a Florida home, rifles, handguns, homemade bombs. And along with them, police say, aerial maps of schools in the area. A 24-year-old man taken into custody with no criminal history or record of mental health issues. And what's most alarming, they say, he was not on their radar. Here's ABC's Victor Akendo from Florida tonight.
Tonight, a chilling find inside this Florida home, an arsenal of weapons allegedly belonging to this man, 24-year-old Randall Drake.
He's got 3 bombs, a whole cadre of weapons, 2,300 rounds of ammunition.
Detectives executing a search warrant in a child pornography investigation. Police say they found none, but they did discover 10 rifles, 8 handguns, 2 shotguns, more than 15 knives, a crossbow, and a baseball bat with nails, along with aerial photos of 2 nearby schools and a water treatment plant, and a note reading, "I shall have my bloody revenge, and then the world will burn."
Everybody's always asking for the motivation, what's behind it. We don't know. He won't talk to us.
Police arresting Drake, who they say has no criminal history or record of mental health issues. They say he wasn't on their radar.
It's reminiscent of what we saw recently, in Las Vegas. That guy's a sleeper. Nobody knew anything about that guy.
Today at the home where Drake lives with his parents, no answer. In the driveway, his car with the license plate reading Far Cry, which is also the name of a popular first-person shooter video game. Drake now facing 2 felony charges for those explosive devices.
Drake has pleaded not guilty. He's being held for up to 72 hours at a mental health facility where they can decide to release him or keep him longer. A court date has not been set. David?
Victor Akendo tonight. Thank you, Victor. A deadly explosion and fire on an oil barge off the coast of Texas. The blast before dawn on a ship carrying 7 million gallons of crude oil to a refinery in Corpus Christi. 6 crew members were rescued, but 1 was found dead and another is still missing tonight. The shipping channel closed to all traffic for a time today as the fire was allowed to burn out. Next year tonight, a new warning about the danger of laptops on airplanes. Tonight, the tests involving lithium-ion batteries, and you'll see the explosions. And this evening, the FAA is now calling for a worldwide ban on laptops and other small electronics in checked luggage. ABC's Gio Benitez from LaGuardia Airport.
The videos are stunning. Luggage on fire, then these are tests conducted by the FAA. Tonight, warning airlines around the world about a possible danger in putting electronics bigger than a cell phone in checked luggage because of the potential for a catastrophic fire. Inside the bag, a laptop side by side with an aerosol can like hairspray. The wire mimics a heating laptop battery. it explodes. The goal, the FAA says, is to get all airlines on board with a plan to keep large personal electronics out of the checked luggage and instead carry them on with you. The fear, lithium-ion batteries leading to fires that have played at least a part in 3 planes being destroyed. And they're worried about more because a person wouldn't be able to fight a fire in the cargo hold, but that's not to say there's still not a danger in the cabin too.
Bringing them up into the cabin is better because there you can isolate the fire and you have tools to put out a lithium-ion fire.
And Gio Benitez with us live tonight from LaGuardia. And Gio, the FAA now plans to bring this up at a meeting next week.
That's right, David. And if this moves forward, it could take about a year to go into effect. David.
All right, we'll stay on it. Gio Benitez, thank you. There are also new developments tonight in the Harvey Weinstein scandal, a searing account from Oscar-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o about what she says were her troubling interactions with the movie producer. Here's ABC's Adrian Bankert again tonight.
And the Oscar goes to Lupita Nyong'o.
Tonight, Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o coming forward with shocking allegations. The star actress penning an op-ed in the New York Times, saying she first met Harvey Weinstein while studying at Yale. He invited her to his home for a screening. With his children present, Nyong'o says he led her to his bedroom. Once there, he announced he wanted to give her a massage. In a panic, she offered to give him one. She says before long he said he wanted to take off his pants. I told him not to do that and informed him that it would make me extremely uncomfortable. She says she feared her future could be in jeopardy, later agreeing to meet Weinstein in a New York City restaurant. Once there, he announced, "Let's cut to the chase. I have a private room upstairs where we can have the rest of our meal." He told me not to be so naive. If I wanted to be an actress, then I had to be willing to do this sort of thing. She refused and claims he became dismissive. "So we're done here," he said. "You can leave." This comes as another alleged victim speaks out. A distraught Heather Kerr recounting a meeting with Weinstein nearly 30 years ago where he allegedly exposed himself.
He told me that I was not that good looking, but that he would be willing to help me anyway. Like he was doing me a favor.
And David, famed director Quentin Tarantino, who worked very closely with Weinstein, saying that he apologizes in the New York Times, saying he wished he'd taken more responsibility for what he'd heard. David?
Adrian, thank you. Overseas tonight, U.S.-backed forces officially declaring victory in Raqqa, the Syrian city that ISIS claimed as its capital. After months of airstrikes and fierce fighting on the ground, the city has been left vacant and in ruins. ABC senior foreign correspondent Ian Pannell, who reported from Raqqa during the battle to recapture it, back in the region tonight with a reality check. How many ISIS fighters are still there?
Tonight, Raqqa liberated. The city that was the beating black heart of ISIS, finally free. And at the center of the city, a traffic circle where the extremists beheaded their enemies, where women were sold into slavery. Today, the center of victory celebrations for the US-backed forces. Amongst the photos of those honored today, Sozdar Bauer. We met this young female commander last July. She drove us to the front lines, saying she was fighting to protect her people from ISIS. She paid the ultimate price, killed by the militants that very night. Today, the city she fought for and died in lies in ruins. Here, the city soccer stadium, a gruesome reminder of the brutality that defined ISIS. Below the bleachers, a gym turned into a prison and torture chamber, where enemies were stretched over gym equipment, hung from the rafters. For now, ISIS is gone. Only the ghosts of their many victims remain.
And Ian Pannell joins us from Iraq tonight. And Ian, you've covered the movements of ISIS for years now. This victory in Raqqa and the previous victory in Mosul have been major advances. But give us a reality check on the ground there. There are still thousands of ISIS fighters in these two countries alone.
You're so right. Years of fighting ISIS, countless victories, and yet the US military estimate there are 6,500 militants still out there in Syria and here in Iraq. Up against them, helping in that battle, are 6,000 US military personnel who know tonight that they've had many victories, but that the war against ISIS has yet to be won. David?
Ian Pannell and our team in Iraq tonight. Our thanks to you, Ian. And there is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Friday. Severe weather we're watching at this hour for a huge part of the country, where storms are set to hit this evening. Also, the new warning from authorities after police say a father of 4 was killed when young people threw boulders from an overpass. Your money tonight, if you're in the market for a new car, why these final months of the year might be your answer and what you should